Welcome. My name is Dr. James Davis, and this video is going to be how to mint an NFT or a non-fungible token. So I'm just trying, I've got Zoom controls here, so I'm just trying to update some Zoom controls, more specifically to stop my camera. Yeah, okay. You don't need to see my live face here. I'm also trying to hide some Zoom controls. Okay. All right. So I've got some things pulled up here. I'll walk through some of these. This is indeed Remix. We will be using the cloud version of Ethereum's Remix integrated development environment. But first, I'm going to come up with an image that I'm going to use to create my non-fungible token. So what I have here is just a PowerPoint slide that looks like a certificate of completion because it is. And I'm going to put, a name in here and call it, Jimmy D. I'm not going to change anything else here. I'm going to leave that all the same. And then to convert this or to export this as a PNG file, I'm going to go to File. Should see Export. File. Yeah, there's Export. I'm going to say that I want to export this as a PNG file. Maybe I'll change this name of the PNG file. Maybe I'll say this is Jimmy D underscore ISDS 4111 underscore cert. And it is indeed going to save in a location where I want it to save. I'm okay with that. So I'm going to say export. So now if I want to go look to find that, here is this PNG file. Okay. If I open it up, okay, it says exactly what I want it to say, and that's good. So I'm going to take this PNG file that I just created. I'm going to go out to a platform called Pinata. And of course, it is pinata.cloud is how you would get to this platform. If you do not already have an account, then you may have to set up an account on Pinata. I don't think it takes much. I think when I set up the account, I associated it with my GitHub account. I think you can also do it through your Google accounts, or you can probably just create a straight up account, giving it your email and some other information. But nonetheless, I have this Pinata account. So I already do indeed have some files here. But I'm at the file location here. This IPFS stands for Interplanetary File System or something similar to that. But I'm in the files location, and I'm going to take that PNG file, that Jimmy D PNG file that I just created, and I'm going to upload it here to Pinata. So I'm going to say add file upload. This is not the location that I'm looking for. So I'm going to navigate to where this is located. I've got the Jimmy D ISDS 4111 cert PNG. Okay. I can confirm, I can change name, I could do any number of things. I could make this private. I do not want to do that. I want to leave it public. I could even add some more settings. I'm just going to say upload. Great. So it's uploaded, and I'm going to remember some information about this. I can come back and get it. I'm going to leave this tab open, of course, but I will indeed need this ID of this PNG file that I just uploaded in just one moment. I'm going to go create this thing called a. Don't worry about that. I'm going to create this thing, some metadata, and I'm just going to create it in my code editor. So here I'm just going to say I want to create a new file. I want to create a JSON file. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. I'm going to say new file. You can create this anywhere you want. I think code editors work really really well for this. And because I'm going to stick with, the Jimmy D underscore metadata, because it is indeed metadata that's going to be captured about this PNG file that's going to be converted to a non-fungible token or an NFT. So I'm creating a metadata file that is indeed a JSON file, and I'm going to grab the content that I'm going to put in here, just a starter code, and then we'll modify from here. So this is what the metadata, and of course, metadata stands for data about data. So I could change this if I wanted to, the name of this NFT, maybe I'd want to call it, the Jimmy D ISDS 4111 certificate for spring of 2026. Maybe I'd want to change the description. Instead of just having student name, I'd want to change that maybe Jimmy D. I'm going to update this link right here to the CID that I was given by Pinata for the PNG file that I just uploaded. So here's the PNG file I uploaded to Pinata. I'm going to copy. I wouldn't dare try to, write this out manually. I'm just going to copy. And here I'm copying the CID. I'm going back to my code editor, which is VS Code. I'm going to overwrite. This is just holder text. I'm going to drop in the CID. So the full location of this image, of course, is pointing back to Pinata. And I don't think I need to change any of this thing, these attributes. So I've got, the course, I've got the professor or the instructor, I've got the completion date of the course. I think all this looks good. If you're viewing this video outside of spring of 2026, you may want to update this as you see fit. So all this is good. I'm going to save this file. So I've created a metadata JSON file, and I'm going to take this metadata JSON file and I'm going to upload it to Pinata also by doing the same thing as saying add upload file. I will navigate to where I created that, and here it is, the Jimmy D metadata.json, and I'm going to upload it also. This all looks good. I don't need to change anything. I will indeed leave this public, and I'm going to upload. So of course, I probably have more files. If you've just created a Pinata account, I probably have more files than you. The most important ones here is the PNG file that I uploaded and the metadata file that I uploaded also. Of course, I had to do the PNG file first because I needed from the PNG file, I needed this CID. And then now I have this metadata JSON file. And now I'm going to go to Remix. I do indeed want to create a new smart contract. This new smart contract is going to be used to create or mint an NFT. I can call it whatever I want. Maybe I'll just call it, mint NFT.sol because it is Solidity code. So I'm going to call this smart contract mint NFT.sol. When I hit enter, I'm not sure what's it popped up something that I didn't particularly want. I may have hit a wrong button. So now I've got a blank file called mint NFT.solidity, and I'm going to go back out and get some starter code again, and I'll walk through some of the starter code. This is just probably giving me some warnings, asking me if I want to use AI or anything along those lines. I am not going to do this. I think it was just giving me cautions and also offering some AI help about doing stuff, and all that's great. But this, of course, is going onto a test network, and I'm not going to worry about it too terribly much. So man, this is, mm, this, if I could fully see this is just talking about versions of Solidity. It's just talking about which versions. Yeah, okay, now what do I, okay. So it's just talking about versions of Solidity. I'm importing some packages to make myself more productive without having to write a whole bunch of code myself. I'm importing some information about this is an NFT is an ERC 721 token. So I'm importing that. I'm importing another package about this being ownable such that I can use this modifier when I'm creating this smart contract. I could change the name of this smart contract if I wanted to, but I don't particularly need to at the moment. I don't know that I'm going to change anything on here. If you wanted to name your NFT something different about the smart contract, you could change this. I don't need to change any of that. It's going to have a token. So this smart contract can be used to create multiple NFTs. And in that case, this token counter will just increment every time you create a new token. So when the smart contract first gets deployed inside the constructor, we're creating the underscore just means that this variable should not be accessed or should not be able to interact with it outside of the smart contract is what the underscore, it just means it's a private variable. So it's going to default itself to start at 0. And you can see here, every time we met an NFT, it will indeed increment it by 1. And we could also ask what is the current value of the token ID, and this will indeed return that if we wanted to see anything that's going on here. I don't think I need to change anything, although you're more than welcome to change some of this. If you're not using this for ISDS 4111, then you may actually want to change some of that information. So now that I have this, mint NFT smart contract, I like everything about it. I'm going to go over here on the left-hand side to my Solidity compiler, and I want to compile this Solidity code, and I'm going to say compile. I think it compiled successfully. I've got the green checkbox, so I really like that. Next, I'm going to go to the deploy and run. So over here on the left-hand side, when I do deploy and run, I want to deploy this on the Sepolia test network that I have my MetaMask account associated with, is who I want to deploy this with. So you may have to make some changes. I think by default, it's going to try to deploy this in the Remix virtual machine, and you may have to click and change it from Remix virtual machine to browser extension, and then you may have to check this and switch to MetaMask to get it to the wallet that you want it to go through. So this is indeed pulled up with my MetaMask wallet. Somewhere in here, it may have asked you something about your wallet address. And once again, you can get a wallet address when this is pulled up. I click here and I would grab my Ethereum wallet address if it wanted it. But because I've already been using this and connected it with my MetaMask wallet, I'm not having to do any of that. It is indeed saying that we've got a properly compiled smart contract. I can deploy this smart contract by clicking the deploy button. It will deploy it onto the Sepolia network through my MetaMask wallet. And it's just asking me to confirm. And I'm indeed going to confirm. I can see that I'm paying some gas fees. I make that confirmation. So I'm watching down here to see some, lack of a better term, server logs or blockchain logs. I should see some stuff that says that, properly, properly. I'm seeing green check boxes, which I like all that. So everything's running, everything looks good. If I wanted to, I could go look up information about this through a block viewer. I could just click on this, and of course, it would open up a new tab, and I could look at things about this deployed contract. I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. I can see down here that I've got this deployed contract. I think I'm seeing too many deployed contracts. This is not the deployed contract I'll interact with. This is the one down here that I just deployed 34 seconds ago. I actually want this to I just want to collapse it. Yeah, okay. So I wanted to collapse it. This is the one that I want to interact with that I just deployed. I'm going to copy this. This is the address of my smart contract. I'm just going to save this off to the side. You can save it any number of places. I've got, just a location, just where I kind of keep working information. I may need that. So I just grabbed the address of this smart contract that I just deployed, but I'm going to click on the smart contract inside Remix. It's going to allow me to select which function I want to interact with. And you can see I created a couple of functions. I created an NFT function, a get current token ID function, and also there's several other functions that come with this package, this ERC 721 package that I created. There's a bunch of other functions that come with it. So when it asks me to select a function, you can see I can renounce ownership. I can do a bunch of things, but I want to look at this mint NFT function because that's indeed what I want to do. So I'm going to pass two inputs to this mint NFT function. It's expecting me to pass a recipient and is expecting me to pass in the link to or the URI, which, I think that's Universal Resource Indicator or something along those lines. But it wants me to pass in a recipient, which will be a wallet address. And it wants me to pass in, for lack of a better term, a link to the resource that I want to mint into an NFT. So if you're one of my students and you're doing this for a grade, I will be the recipient. So you would use my wallet address, and you could get that either by contacting me or you can get that by looking at our shared class wallet Google Sheet that we've created. I'm going to get my wallet address, of course, by just going to MetaMask and saying, give me my wallet address. So I'm copying it from here. I'm pasting it into the recipient for this NFT. This token URI, I'm going back to Pinata. On Pinata, I'm going to the metadata JSON that I created. And for the JSON file, I'm hovering right here, and I'm going to copy the link to this metadata JSON. That's what I'm entering for this token URI, and I'm just pasting it straight in. And if you want, I'm just, kind of scrolling all the way left. If you want to see the full link here, and it's seeing, HTTPS, and it's got the whole full link to that metadata JSON. And then I'm going to click transact. Of course, it pulls up my MetaMask wallet again. It's just asking me to confirm this. I'm going to sign this transaction. I'm going to watch the logs here. I hope to see some successes and some verified. So I got a green check mark. I like that. And I'm just waiting. I think I'll get one more confirmation through the logs here. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just being impatient. I'm going to look at my MetaMask wallet to see here is this Jimmy D certificate. Okay, now it popped up. So because I am the owner of the smart contract and I am the recipient of this NFT, it's automatically showing up. I think I can click on it, and of course, it's showing my Jimmy D certificate, some information about it. I think otherwise, if you're a student or if you're a person who owns the smart contract, but you're trying to send the NFT to a different recipient, the person who's receiving this NFT will need a couple of things. They'll need the contract address and they'll need the token ID for them to import or for that NFT to show up in their wallet. As an example, this is my MetaMask wallet. I'm at NFTs. If I wanted to go to import NFT, of course, this is be Sepolia network. Sepolia. And if I'm importing this from someone else that made me the recipient, I would need that address and I would need the token ID. And once they gave me that, then I would just click import, and then it would show up inside my MetaMask wallet. And of course, here's the NFT I just minted. Thanks for showing up.